In 2000, I started my consulting business in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I had a rough first year because I wasn't very confident in my skills, and so I didn't have very many clients. And in spring of 2001, I was talking to my wonderful friend Renee Smith, who owned Spa 2000, a spa and exercise studio in Sioux Falls. And Renee, you didn't know this about Renee, she is the most supportive, happy, smiling person you ever meet in your entire life. And I was in her office whining and complaining about how I had no business, wah, wah, wah. She sat there with a big smile the entire time. She listened to my whole diatribe of what's going wrong in my business and so forth. And when I finally stopped talking, she looked at me with a big smile and said, "Elizabeth, I've got the best idea. What you need to do is give workshops on your expertise. People know they can't do it themselves and they will hire you." I said, "Renee, that's a great idea except for one incy, teensy, weensy little detail. And that is I am terrified, I mean terrified, all capital letters, periods between the letters, of speaking. In fact, Renee, let me share with you a story from high school. I went to high school in the late 60s, early 70s, and I was 5'9", like I am now. Well, my doctor says I'm 5'8", and I'm shrinking, but I'm in denial, so I say I'm 5'9". And so I was very tall for that age, very tall in those years. And I didn't weigh 100 pounds until I was a junior in high school. So I was very, very thin, and I had a slight stuttering issue. So you put this poor child in front of a group of her peers who tease her unmercifully, and it is a disaster waiting to happen. And so one night I was telling Renee, before I had to give a speech, I thought, I can't do it. I just cannot get up in front of those peers, have them tease me, I can't do it. How can I get out of this presentation? Also, I had this great idea. So I got out of bed, I got on my knees, I folded my hands on the bed and I prayed, "Dear God, please, oh please, end the world tonight." I'm sorry I wasn't thinking about all of you and your children and grandchildren. I was only thinking about me. I wanted to get out of this speech. And I pictured God having millions of prayers a second. Maybe he wouldn't even notice it. He'd pick it and the world would be over. I wouldn't have to give my speech. I went to sleep and I slept pretty well. Woke up the next morning and I realized I was still in my house, in my bed. And I thought, well, maybe, this would have been an even better idea. Maybe he nuked the high school. It would take years to rebuild. I'd be long gone. So I went down and I said, "Mom, hear anything on the news on the radio, TV about the high school?" She goes, "No, why do you ask?" I said, "Oh, never mind." And I had to go and give that speech. And it was absolutely awful. So Renee listened to this whole little story of mine with a big smile on her face. And when she got done, she said the words that changed my life forever and the words that have now enabled me to be in front of groups like you. And she said, "But you don't understand, Elizabeth. I believe in you. I believe in you." Now, I don't know about you. If someone says they believe in me, I can do just about anything. I said, "Okay, Renee, you sold me. Let's do this workshop." She goes, "Great. I've got a small meeting room. You can use it for free. I'll invite my database. You invite your database. And in 3 weeks, we'll have this workshop." Great. I left feeling pretty happy about myself. I got home. I realized, oh no, I've got to give this presentation. I'm scared. I got mad at myself, mad at Renee, mad at my husband, which even though he has nothing to do with it, I was mad at everybody. But what's interesting, when you promote a workshop, the speaker has to show up, and the speaker was me. So I showed up that night at her spa with my typed presentation that I typed up word for word. I walk in, there's 5. I walk, Renee and 2 of her staff, I think she made them come, and 2 other gals from Renee's database. Because who are we kidding? I had no database. So I gave my speech, I read it word for word, I peeked out once in a while behind the sheets of paper, and I got done, there's a small smattering of applause, and a lady named Julie was in the front row. Well, they were all in the front row. And she came to me and said, "Elizabeth, you're an answer to my prayer. I want to hire you to work with me." And she gave me a big hug. And that really started my speaking career. Was I afraid? Did my fear stop that night? No, I was afraid for years. It's gotten better and better. But I faced what I feared and I did it because someone believed in me. I now live on what I call believe way. It's amazing what you can do when someone believes in you. What would you do different in your business or life if you truly believed in yourself? What would you do different?